Last week, we talked all about our favorite crawling creatures. Red wigglers, nightcrawlers, Icinia fetida. These are all names for earthworms. Mother Nature's brigade of compost disposal experts.
And this week, we're talking about a problem. What problem, you may ask? A huge problem. A gargantuan problem. A problem that covers billions and billions of acres on land and in the oceans. That's right, we're talking about trash.
You're on KXCJ-LP Radio 105.7 FM Cave Junction, listening to the Illinois Valley's one and only teen-powered radio show, EmpowerHour, where roaring from the soul is our goal. This is the segment where you will follow us on our journey to making some real change for our valley and the planet.
Welcome back to Project Redworm. I'm Phoebe.
I'm Isadora.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Elijah.
Today we're discussing human wastefulness on a huge scale.
Humans as a species throw away many things, ranging from food that is spoiled to hygiene products, to toys and even electronic devices. Why is this a problem? Well, to start, if we just throw away our resources and use new products as frequently as possible, we can't sustain the planet.
But it's so much easier just to throw junk away.
I don't want to store a bunch of broken stuff.
Yeah, why would I want to hoard stuff when I could just throw it away?
It's not like I have the room for that.
And
Exactly.
Recycling costs money, too. It's like, trash costs money, but it's less money.
And also, why would you hoard it when you could not? Hoarding takes up room, it's cluttery, it's messy, and I get it, a lot of people like to collect things, but honestly, it's so much easier to throw it away in the trash and stuff.
Exactly. You don't need to sort it into specific paper or tin cans or cardboard or anything. You just throw it all in one trash can.
Exactly, and it doesn't hurt the planet at all. We're still living.
See, everyone wants to throw stuff away. It's just easier.
Yeah. Before we start talking about statistics, keep in mind that a lot of these statistics are taken from multiple studies conducted by different scientific groups. So, there may be slight discrepancies depending on how the information was gathered. According to the Clean Air Council in 2006, about 900 million trees are cut down each year to create raw materials for American paper and paper mills. The average American uses 18 tons of paper, 23 tons of wood, 16 tons of metal, and 32 tons of organic chemicals in one lifetime.
And that's just one person.
On a planet of 7.5 billion people.
No way. That's ridiculous.
The oil from an oil change in a car can end up in oceans, sewers, and landfills, contaminating millions of gallons of water.
The United States of America alone accounts for over 1/3 of the world's waste. Most of that trash ends up in landfills. In the United States, an average of 1 ton of waste per person ends up in landfills each year.
The land of the free? More like land of the landfill.
No, really. More like land of people destroying our planet so that we can be happier and more comfortable.
Whoa. Settle down there.
Well, it is the truth. Also, about 70% of U.S. municipal waste is buried in landfills. The Fresh Kills landfill in New York City is one of the only man-made structures visible from outer space.
Wow, you can see it from outer space?
Yeah.
Wonder what E.T. thinks about that.
E.T. isn't alive, Elijah. It was a movie.
Oh no, my life has been a lie.
Are you okay? Is this gonna end up like last episode?
No.
Sadly, much of our garbage is also dumped into the ocean. About 10% of all the world's plastic waste ends up there. Due to the direction of undersea currents, most of this plastic gathers into the Pacific Ocean. It also greatly affects marine life. Over 1 million seabirds and 100,000 marine mammals die every year from trying to eat these plastics, which they mistake for food.
My plastic milk top ends up in a bird's stomach?
That's nothing. The plastic ring that holds your six-packs together can choke lots of sea life to death. Thinking about that depresses me.
And speaking of food, so much perfectly edible food is wasted that it's absolutely mind-boggling. The Food and Agriculture Organization estimates that around 1.3 billion tons of food is wasted each year, around the globe. About a third of all food produced in the world. The United States of America is, you guessed it, right at the top of the food waste leaderboard.
I love to be number one.
God bless America.
We're winning.
Make America waste again.
Hey, aren't we already doing that?
It's saddening how there are people starving, but 40% of the food in America gets thrown away. Think about all the people that could feed.
What causes this? Why does the world, and America in general, waste so much food? Well, the answer to that is mainly that food is cheap, and people are picky because they can afford to be. Here is an excerpt from an Atlantic article.
Food is cheaper in the United States than nearly anywhere else in the world, aided, controversially, by the subsidies to corn, wheat, milk, and soybeans. But the great American squandering of produce appears to be a cultural dynamic as well, enabled in large part by a national obsession with the aesthetic quality of food. Fruits and vegetables, in addition to generally being healthful, have a tendency to bruise, brown, wilt, oxidize, ding, or discolor. That is apparently something American shoppers will not abide.
Ew, it's got a brown spot on it. I'm not eating it.
It's poisoned.
Oh my god, see that little hole? A bug ate that. I don't want to buy any food that a bug was crawling on.
What if I die if I eat it?
But what if there's poop on it? What if worms crawled all over and their slimy disgustingness is on it?
I shouldn't have to cut a chunk out of my apple. It should
Plus-
be perfect.
Plus, people touched it to pick it.
And I mean, it's natural. Who wants natural food when you could have Cheetos and everything? And not to mention that it's natural, but you also have to wash it and pay more for it and get rid of all the brown spots and all the holes. I mean, I just want to buy myself some Cheetos, man.
Ew.
For an American family of 4, the average value of discarded produce is nearly $1,600 annually. Globally, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization estimates that 1/3 of all food grown is lost or wasted, an amount valued at nearly $3 trillion.
3 trillion? I don't understand that number.
What's a trillion? Is it like 10? That's all the money I have.
I have, I think, 4.27
Yeah, well, I spent all my money trying to buy healthy food, which I'm never gonna do again, by the way. Way too much.
Agreed. I mean, you can get a hamburger for $1 at McDonald's.
Yeah, and the worst part was, though, they were all covered in, like, mushy and gushy, so I just threw them away. I mean, oh well.
A billion is 1,000 millions, so a trillion is a million millions?
Well, there's billions.
Well,
So
yeah.
there's a million millions go into a billion, right?
Yes.
And then a billion billions must go into a trillion.
1,000 millions go into a billion. So that
1,000 millions.
means 1,000 billions go into a
So
trillion.
then 1,000 billions would go into a trillion.
So it's a million billion. A million millions goes into a trillion.
So it would be but if you go back, 10 tens make 100, and 100 100s make 1,000, and 1,000 or 100
This hurts my
Math!
brain. Okay,
So,
basically it's just more than your house.
Well, no, basically it would be 10 tens, 100 100s, 1,000 1,000s, 100,000s, 100,000s, 1 million, 1 millions, 1 billions, 1
Somebody
billion
stop her.
equals 1
You're
trillion. Oh my god! Oh my god, that's a lot, guys.
Sorry for all of that confusion.
1 trillion is a lot of money.
So, basically, we're really picky and only want perfect produce. But how does that explain all of the other food that gets wasted?
Well, that would be the fault of the best by date on food. A lot of people assume that the best by date means that the food is no longer safe to eat after that date. Well, they couldn't be more wrong. All that date means is, hey, it's probably gonna taste the best if you eat it before then, otherwise we can't really guarantee that it will taste good. It also tells stores when they need to rotate their stock for peak consumer satisfaction. Unfortunately, lots of people don't know this, and food is thrown away as soon as it, quote-unquote, expires. Not to mention that stores waste a large amount of food if they don't sell their stock in time. Some is usually purchased by nearby discount retailers, but not all places have those, so there's inevitably a large amount that gets thrown away.
You know how they fence off the area behind grocery stores like ShopSmart because all that quote-unquote expired food is a lawsuit waiting to happen?
So what are they gonna do with it?
Throw it away, of course.
Most restaurants are also not equipped with composting programs, so all of that uneaten food there is usually thrown away as well.
And where does all this food go?
Well, that would be the landfill. When the food is thrown away in the landfill, which is a giant pit lined with plastic and filled with layers and layers of garbage and soil, it really has no opportunity to decompose. Because, for one, the food is usually in plastic packaging or cans. And for two, the nature of landfills does not allow anything to biodegrade very efficiently.
How can we fix the trash problem? Well, on a global scale, it's hard to make these changes happen quickly, but there are lots of things we can do to help, including just not making as much waste and repurposing things whenever possible. Composting helps get rid of food waste in an environmentally friendly fashion. Next week on Project Redworm, how do we handle waste in the Illinois Valley?
We may just be teens, but we've got some big ideas about how we can do better.
Now, let's hand all of you listeners over to the next segment of EmpowerHour, Arts Alive. Tune in next week.
Until then, when that trash is about to leave your hand and hit the trash bag, ask yourself, do I need to throw this away, or could I be doing something different with it?